Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Illuminati, the man who rules the world, takes on the head of the global elite in this all-new action-packed John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' Illuminati in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, because we're having us a barbecue. On Friday, CNN played some security footage of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie in the hallway of a hotel in 2016. Now, in this 8-year-old video footage from 2016, singer Cassie, who was then music mogul P. Diddy Combs' girlfriend, is seen waiting for an elevator looking to leave the hotel that she is staying in with her boyfriend Sean P. Diddy Combs. And as she's waiting for this elevator, Sean P. Diddy Combs, the music mogul, rushes out of his hotel room wearing only a towel and a pair of socks, and in the hallway he confronts Cassie and hits her in the face, knocking her down, then proceeds to kick her multiple times before picking up her bags and dragging her back to the hotel room where an alleged assault took place after the alleged assault that was shown in the video. Now, this video footage basically corroborates everything that Cassie made as related to allegations in a federal lawsuit as related to Sean P. Diddy Combs allegedly abusing her, assaulting her, and sexually violating her back in 2023, a lawsuit that Cassie settled with Sean P. Diddy Combs in an effort to desperately save his reputation. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to save his reputation because this video footage basically corroborates everything that was made as related to claims in that lawsuit, and with this video footage, it basically shows that Diddy is basically done as related to being a media mogul, because with the revelation of this 8-year-old video footage by CNN, it basically destroys Sean P. Diddy Combs' personal reputation, his professional reputation, and makes it where he's basically going to be leaving the entertainment industry in an ignominious fashion. Now, the critical question I have to ask regarding Sean P. Diddy Combs is, who in the global elite did Sean P. Diddy Combs piss off? And the reason why I have to ask that question is because this footage was supposed to be erased, as according to an agreement that Sean P. Diddy Combs allegedly had with the hotel, and he basically allegedly paid this hotel to scrub this footage, and it was supposed to have been gone over 8 years ago. However, this footage winds up in the hands of the media platform CNN, and is basically broadcast to the world 8 years later. And that, again, has me asking that question once more. Who did Sean P. Diddy Combs wind up pissing off among the global elite to have all of this come out on him? Because the only reason for this 8-year-old footage to wind up in the hands of one of these mainstream media platforms is because somebody in that group basically is pissed off at Diddy and wants him done once and for all. Now, P. Diddy Combs basically is a guy who really made a lot of enemies in the entertainment industry, and it looks like he basically overstepped his place in the system of white supremacy, where he made his compromises to be a part of it. Now, in my novel, The Temptation of John Haynes, I talk about the compromises people make to be in these high social circles of the wealthy and the elite. And on the back of the book, I have on the blurb, "Death kills the flesh and compromise kills the soul." And Sean P. Diddy Combs' soul was dead a long time ago with all of the compromises he made to be a part of the media arm of white supremacy. Now, Diddy has a reputation of doing a lot of people dirty, and he does a lot of people dirty for two reasons. One, he wants to climb the social ladder in the system of white supremacy. And two, he wants to get his and maintain his power base in that system of white supremacy. So he doesn't look to build alliances or allies with people. No, he looks to subjugate and dominate people, and he looks to use people as tools to be stepping stones in the system of white supremacy. And that's why I don't have much sympathy for Diddy, because he did a lot of people dirty and was not known for being kind to people on his way up in the system of white supremacy. And as Diddy went up the ladder in the system of white supremacy, I believe what happened to Diddy is he started to believe the whole idea that he had basically transcended race, similar to what O.J. Simpson did. And as he was doing this, he was looking to, again, go out here and create a covert contract with the system of white supremacy, believing that he could go out here and he could have his skeleton bones in the closet because he had information on other people, and he thought that that would give him the leverage to be able to continue operating in the system of white supremacy. Unfortunately, Diddy just doesn't understand that in the system of white supremacy, yes, the game is chess, not checkers. However, when you're playing on the board of white supremacy, you are playing by their rules. And when it comes to the system of white supremacy, the whole thing with them is that there are no rules. No, what happened to Diddy is he thought, oh, he could go out here and participate in his sexual deviancy because he thought he had leverage on people at his alleged white parties and other parties. But what he didn't understand about the system of white supremacy is that the ultimate rule is that they're white and they say so. And because they're white and they say so, they can say that you are going to lose at any time because the rules are created by those who are a part of white supremacy. And Diddy, basically holding up his green Candyland card, didn't understand the only way to win is to not play at all. Unfortunately, Diddy started playing way back in the early 90s, starting with that whole incident at City College, and ever since he started playing the game and looking to go up the ladder of the system of white supremacy, he was looking to gain favor and clout with those in the system of white supremacy, and was willing to step on just about anyone, including his girlfriend Cassie. And on that quest to get power, he basically looked to crush everyone under his feet. And as he looked to crush everyone under his feet, he basically, I think, got too big for his skid mark jockey draws. And as he got too big for his skid mark jockey draws, I think he wound up crossing some person in the global elite. And as he crossed that person, that's when they finally got pissed off at Diddy and decided it was time that Diddy would be done because they were white and they said so. That's the reason why all of this is coming out on Diddy right now. 8 years ago, after he thought he had ironclad deals to keep all of his skeleton bones buried, 8 years after he wound up keep having all of these skeleton bones as related to his sexual deviancy and disturbing sexual relations, sexual abuse, and alleged sex trafficking, Diddy thought all of this was going to be covered to make his world smooth. He thought he could make a deal with those in white supremacy to keep his skeleton bones covered. Unfortunately, what he did was, as he was going up, he got his head gassed up by those in the system of white supremacy who made him think that he was a person first and black second. But when he went out here and crossed the line, that's when they decided to let him know how black he was by first having Cassie go out and file this lawsuit against him to show that they could basically take him out at any time. And now they're basically going out here and showing him he can be taken out, because what they're doing now is basically giving Diddy his ninja moment and giving him his ninja moment by letting him know how black he is. And as they let him know how black he is, they're basically sending him a message that and letting him know you are black and we can take you out at any time. And this time they're basically saying it's your time is up here as related to being a mogul in the media arm of white supremacy. And a lot of people are sitting there seeing the whole double standard with Diddy's case, because what's interesting here as related to Diddy is that this 8-year-old footage comes out, and we have the Los Angeles County District Attorney saying that there was a statute of limitations that, as related to this footage, that basically shows Diddy committing a crime. However, the whole case against Bill Cosby, which was made with no real evidence, I mean, you had Bill Cosby basically put in jail by a blue party prosecutor in a blue leftist state based on evidence that really was, again, not there, because the affidavit wasn't supposed to be used at all. And we see a completely different story. Now, some will sit there and say that it's about two different blue states. But what I find interesting here is that nobody wanted to talk about prosecuting Diddy from the prosecutor's office. And again, that just shows how this is really a case of I'm white and I say so, because that's what the real case here is as related to Diddy. Somebody white got pissed off, and because they said they wanted him taken down, this is what they wanted. They basically got what they wanted because they said, okay, he settled the case. He's thinking he's going to go on, but he's not. We're going to make it where he isn't allowed to go on as related to our media arm of white supremacy, because that's what happens when you make a deal with the devil. He is eventually going to burn you. And that's basically what's happening here with Diddy. He made a deal with the devil, and as he made this deal with the devil, sadly and ironically, what's happening to him, he is reaping what he sowed, later than what he sowed, greater than what he sowed, as related to the way he treated people for all these years. I mean, Diddy did a lot of people dirty over the decades, and from guys like Biggie Smalls all the way up to his girlfriend Cassie, and he basically went on for years just doing people dirty. And now what's happening now is that he's basically reaping what he sowed as related to all of the people he did dirty. And the thing that he did was think he could make this compromise with the devils of white supremacy and think he couldn't get burned. But like it says in the Bible, a man can't take fire into his bosom and not get burned. And that's what's basically happening to Diddy right now. And that's why I don't have any sympathy for Diddy and as related to him being done, because he had a chance to do right by people, but instead of him looking to do right by people, he looked to gain power over people, and as related to his insecurities, as related to his position of power, because that's the reason why he was out here exploring all of the sexual deviancy as related to the alleged abuse of Cassie, as related to him looking to abuse her, as related to the physical assaults to force her to participate in deviant acts that we basically can see are corroborated by the physical abuse he participated in and the sexual deviancy he put her into as related to watching her, as related to his disturbing sexual fetishes, such as the having trains run on her, alleged prostitution, and alleged sex trafficking. And all of this is again coming out because of the compromises Diddy made with the devil early on in his career, and because he basically, as I see it, got arrogant and too big for his draws. Basically, they're letting him know who is the one who manufactures the draws and who fits him into the draws. And this whole incident with Sean P. Diddy Combs is a message to all of these black bootlicks. That's the reason why all of this is happening. The reason why all of this is happening is because those who control the media and control the narratives are letting the world know that if you are a black bootlick, if you go out here and cross us at any time, this is going to be your fate. And this is going to be your fate because if you go out here and think that you are going to be out of your place in the system of white supremacy, we can take you right off the board because we're white, we make the rules, and we say so. That's the whole reason why Diddy is going out in this ignominious fashion, and this is why you don't want to make the deal with the devils in the entertainment industry, because if you make that deal with these devils in the entertainment industry, if you make that compromise, you will wind up not only losing your life at any time as related to your career, because they basically can pull the plug on you at any time, but you can also wind up losing your soul, because that's what happened to Diddy, I believe, when he was out here participating in exploring all of this sexual deviancy, because he basically felt powerless as he realized he made this deal with the devils of white supremacy. As he made these deals with the devils of white supremacy, he wound up feeling powerless, and this is why he was exploring all of this sexual deviancy in secret, because he wanted to get the power back that he wound up losing as he made the compromise with those in the media arm of white supremacy. And now that they've basically seen that he crossed the line, they're looking to take away his livelihood and his life and make it where he goes out in the most ignominious fashion, similar to what Eddie Griffin said. Eddie Griffin, a long time ago, told us all, nobody comes out of Hollywood clean. And this is the main reason why I said I wanted nothing to do with Hollywood, because the whole thing is you may make a lot of money, but that money comes at a cost, and the cost is just too high as related to things that are spiritual and eternal, and even for your everyday life. And that's the textbook example we see here with Sean P. Diddy Combs. We see that this man, again, while he thought he had everything, he basically wound up with nothing, because those in the system of white supremacy basically could take it away at any time just because they say so. And that's what happened here to Diddy. Everything was taken away just because they said so, because there are white guys with all sorts of skeletons that are in the closet, and white guys with stuff out in the open. I mean, I find it very interesting that Dana White can basically slap his wife, and there's nobody talking about getting Dana White out of the UFC or Endeavor at all. I find it interesting. Dana White can basically slap his wife during New Year's Eve celebration, and that footage was viral for over a couple of months now, or over a year, I would say. I mean, over a year we've had this footage of Dana White slapping his wife. Nobody talking about taking him out of the UFC. Nobody talking about taking away his living. But when you are somebody white, and you are a part of white supremacy, you have privileges that black men don't have. And sadly, Diddy thought that he had, like O.J. Simpson, transcended race, but he didn't understand that when it comes to white supremacy, like Professor Black Truth has said multiple times, bootlick is a job without a retirement plan, and basically they're ending Sean P. Diddy Combs' employment before he can cash in his benefits. That's what's happening here to Sean P. Diddy Combs. They're basically cashing this bootlick out, a bootlick who basically, again, sold poison to his own people in the form of music that promoted crime and drugs. Again, this bootlick thought he was down and thought he was a part of white supremacy and thought that they were going to co-sign him all the way to the end. But what they're showing is that they no longer need Sean P. Diddy Combs anymore. And now that he's overstepped his bounds, they're looking to go out here and get rid of him, and get rid of him in the most ignominious fashion, where he could never go back to build another empire. I mean, they want to make it where this man is never able to get those business connections, never be able to go out here and make any sort of inroads ever again. They have basically gone out here and blacklisted P. Diddy Combs as related to his professional and personal reputation, and again, all done because they're white and they say so. This is the message that is being sent as related to the public destruction of P. Diddy Combs, because again, there are white guys who have participated in this kind of stuff, and they're still able to operate. I mean, I find it interesting, Roman Polanski still has a film career. Woody Allen retired from Hollywood after allegedly was allegedly assaulting and molesting his own daughter. I mean, people still talking about they still want to work with Roman Polanski, and they still want to work with Woody Allen, even though he's retired. I mean, I find it interesting that the white guys, again, have a whole different standard as related to their indiscretions. But when it comes to Diddy, they want him. He's done, and he's done mainly because, again, he pissed somebody off bad, and that's the only reason why he's basically done. He's done because they're white and they say so, and they say that this black man is basically one who's just, again, out of pocket, and they're going to send a message with his end that when you come out and make compromises with white supremacy, you do what we say when we say, and even if you do what they say when they say, your time is done at our leisure. So what's happening here is something, again, that I'm not getting too upset about, because Diddy was basically done not at this point, but he was done way back in the 90s when he made that deal with the devil. He thought he'd never get burned. But the whole thing is that when you go out here and make a compromise for your soul, you wind up losing not only in this life, but the next one. And that's what's happening here to Sean P. Diddy Combs. I mean, a lot of people want to talk about him, again, as related to him being done right now, but he was done a long time ago when he made that deal with the devil, and each demon that he got involved with basically burned him just that much further. So Diddy is done, and the whole mess thing that people aren't really looking at as related to the big picture is that when you deal with white supremacy and you try to play their game by their rules, you're guaranteed to lose, because in the system of white supremacy, even if you do play chess and you play by their rules, you're going to lose, because the mistake you made was going to go to the table to play the game in the first place. And that's what Diddy made the mistake of doing. He made the mistake of playing the game with white supremacy, not understanding it was a rigged game. And now that he's finding out that the game was rigged, he's finding out not only is his career over, but his life is over as well. And it's all over because he basically went to sit down at the table with the devil and thought there was a way that he could get out of this game without ever getting burned. Now, if you want to learn about about situations as related to the whole concept of death and compromise and making spiritual compromises, you can pick up my novel The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and Kindle format on Amazon.com, and that book will basically show you what happens if you go out here and don't understand the spiritual war that's going on and the war as related to race going on. That book will show you a lot of what Diddy was dealing with as related to his situation, and basically show you what happens when you go out here and don't understand the whole concept of dealing with the devil. And if you want to pick up books in the John Haynes series, which shows John Haynes, again, stuck in a corporate hell, you can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find other books in the SJS Direct universe, like the ISIS series and the Esteem series. You can find all of those books on Amazon.com. And you can also go out here and find my men's issues books as well. And if you want to see me make more videos talking about entertainers and taking them to the barbecue, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Give in to temptation and pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Get your copy of ISIS, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Esteem Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this all-new Esteem series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Esteem Horror in the Hamptons in digital format at Amazon.com, Google Play, Draft the Digital, and other digital booksellers, or pick up your paperback copy on May 24th. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.